Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's Sally here again. So for today, let me recommend you a book called The Land of Stories. Yet again, a series that I love. Yes, and I'm sure that you would love as well after you read it. The Enchantress Returns. The second book in the story. Now, are you ready for another mission to the book, The Land of Stories? And in the story, you will find out different things about different people and different characters. And yes, it's mostly about the twins, Connor and Alex Bailey. We have our most important characters of all time in The Land of Stories, Connor and Alex Bailey. They are twins. Yes, and at the very behind, we have Froggy. They're one of their very best friends that they have learned from The Land of Stories. Yes, so now let's actually talk about the book itself. This is another mission. Now, I know that every single book is about a mission that they go to this Land of Stories and do something that is really good and saves the world, yes, but this is different. Why is it different? Well, because they are facing the Enchantress. And plus, it returns. Which means that at the very front of the book, if you read the first book, then you would know that Avonlea, or the person who cursed Snow White, the evil queen's mother, is actually the Enchantress. But apparently, the Enchantress returns. So Avonlea thought that she already, poisoned her, because the poison was miles and miles and miles away. But apparently, she did not get cursed. Or, in other words, she didn't die. Yeah, that was the case. And if you want to see if she dies and how she dies, because I'm pretty sure she will die. Yep. Even if you don't read the book, it's gonna have a happy ending and the bad character, the villain of the story, is gonna die. But you could read the book to find out how it's actually gonna die. Yes, how she's gonna die. And usually when I read a book, I usually look at the back of the book. It says here, enter the land of stories where fairy tales are real. Isn't that exciting? And it says, the evil enchantress who cursed Sleeping Beauty is back with revenge. Can Alex and Connor Bailey save the fairy tale world from the greatest threat it ever had? Well, this greatest threat isn't actually the greatest threat. It's not the greatest threat yet, because you are going to find out in the next few books if you read them. So, as we go back to the map at the very cover to show you the diagram of the Land of Stories, and then the prologue, the rise, and the return. So here it says about the evil enchantress returning, and mostly about Sleeping Beauty talking to the people who are actually in the castle, Sleeping Beauty's castle. And here it says, the enchantress, Sleeping Beauty whispered to herself, she's back. Yes, so that's what happened here. And then we have chapter 1, the Train of Thoughts. So at the Train of Thoughts, Alex Bailey thought to herself a lot of things about the fairy tale world and about herself recently, because she's really gifted and talented and she has great grades. So she was recommended by her teacher, Mrs. Peters. She got to the community college to study, and we will meet another character who's quite important also. It is Bob. Bob is the doctor at the Children's Hospital where their mom actually works. They're twins' moms. So Mrs. Bailey. And Mrs. Bailey is a nurse. But apparently, the nurse, because their father died, so the nurse, which is their mom, and Bob, they marry at the end, but they are only dating, till now. One day, when they found out that their mom was dating Bob, and Bob was dating them, and they were like boyfriends and girlfriends, they found out something as well as the dating. It was about the Land of Stories, and that was the part where they had known that they yet again did not have a normal life, and they have, and yes, I mean have to save the Land of Stories yet again from the ultimate threat yet to come, which is the Enchantress, because we know how powerful she is. Yes. Bob was like really confused by why was there like soldiers dressing in actual uniforms, which was really weird. But then at the end, he finds out that the Land of Stories is actually real. And then they go back to Fairy Tale World, join their friends, Red Riding Hood, Jack, Froggy, and Goldilocks, and a couple others like Mother Goose, also known as OMG, Old Mother, starts with an M, and Goose starts with a G. So these are all of the characters that they will meet in the story. And then here's the important part. Yes, here's the most crucial part of the story. So what happens here is, after they know that there was a threat and the Enchantress actually returned just a few days ago, they had Connor pulled out a book in the front of the book that I'm holding right now. He finds out that there's actually a way to solving this problem that they have with the Enchantress. They have to build a wand that is actually capable of destroying the Enchantress. And at the end, did they destroy her? Yes, of course. Did they use a wand? Yes, they did. And but mostly they didn't just use the wand. So they found it in an old magic book about magic of the Land of Stories and stuff like that. And Connor and his friends built an actual ship, and that ship traveled across the sky to the places where they needed to build the wand itself. So the rule was you have to find 6 characters that like the Land of Stories and citizens of the Land of Stories and everybody hates. Basically the ultimate villains of the fairy tales. So they go into different places to find the fairy tales. This is the story for today. Yeah, the video for today, and I hope you have enjoyed my video. I'll see you next time. Bye!